Hi, my name is Eric, and I'm the brother to this one, and the son to this one. And as you've heard already, but I get my chance to say it too, my mom had She had the fullest life. As has been said, she loved a childhood where she rode horses, water skied with Sarah and their friends, raced cars on the frozen St. Croix River, thanks to the influence of an older brother. Later, while living in Colorado, she swore an oath, was given a gun, and went throughout Colorado Springs doing good as a police officer. Figured I should finish that story. It was here that she met my dad, a police officer himself. It was in Colorado that my dad planted the running seed in her with him buying her first pair of Nike Waffle Trainer running shoes. My Aunt Lonnie running their first race. With us moving to South Carolina because of my dad's work, and my mother always looking for another challenge, she enrolled eventually in law school at the age of 40. Not something most 40-year-olds do. She was no ordinary 40-year-old. If that wasn't enough, she then, as you have heard said, the miracle sister came while in law school. She delivers my sister 1 year later and then finishes law school. The athletic pursuits continued. Running was no longer enough to satisfy. Triathlons became the pursuit of choice for her and my father. You know how humbling it is as a son to have your parents be the ones who do racing and triathlons first? Talking me into racing. Moving to Florida and embracing a new church with my dad and family. My mom quickly getting involved in relationships. You've heard of those already today. She continued loving people, enjoying life, and loving her family, even the family that she wanted to be. One time she talked to an 8-year-old girl in the church and said she had a plan because of how much she knew of this 18-year-old girl, and her godly family she came from and how she was reputed, and my mom's own personal testimony of her being so godly. She asked that 18-year-old girl if maybe she could come over to the house, babysit, while my parents were gone. By then, my sister will be in bed, and then her son could come home, and then the two of them could fall in love and happily get married. I have to say, the events didn't quite unfold that way, but I married her. She's on the front row. It's my wife, Danelle. My wife loves to tell that story. She was a fun woman. She went on to take the Florida bar so she could practice law in Florida, never being satisfied, continually desiring to do more. Moving back eventually to South Carolina, my family has landed here in Greenville. And many of you know the rest of the story because you are it. You are it. My mom loved all of you, shared life with you. You were her neighbors, her coworkers, her running partners, her political groupies, her Sunday school classmates, her family. You were her friends. How many loaves of banana bread did she give away? How many runs did she invite you on? How many random gifts would she be known for giving? If she was here today, she'd want us to be outside going for a run together, not sitting in here all dressed up. My mom never knew a stranger. I would often tell her whenever we were somewhere, "Mom, we need to go. You're not running for mayor." But then I assured her if she were, she would win. On behalf of my dad, my sister, my Uncle Mike, which is my mom's brother, and our other family, I want to say thank you for coming today. Just your presence alone encourages us. I am looking into this group and I see people who have come from very far. And I can't tell you how much it means. From family flying in from as far away as Hawaii, to friends coming from places like Minnesota, Florida, Indiana, and other states, we are humbled by your presence. You remind us of how great a woman my mom was and how many people loved her. We have something for you today, and there's something that you can do for Mom. When we were planning this service, we wanted it to be done the way Mom would have wanted. And you can picture all the varieties of what that could look like, some of which would not be allowed in this room. So, later when you leave, we have a gift for all of you. True to my mom's celebratory spirit, we have leis of multiple colors. Not only is it appropriate because my family is Hawaiian, but also because Mom is celebrating now herself. She is in heaven with her faith in Jesus Christ being fully realized. Take one as you leave if you would like. You don't have to. Wear it if you would like. Again, you don't have to. But perhaps use it as a reminder to think of the life Mom lived as well, as a reminder to pray for my family in the coming days. Regarding what you can do for Mom, we're going to have a reception afterwards. Many of you have come to be the source of encouragement to us. Thank you. But I know what Mom would want a reception to look like. Instead of standing in subgroups of people who only know each other but not others, she would want everyone here to meet each other. So if you want to honor Mom, and you can, join us for the reception afterwards, then please come, but come with the intention to introduce yourself to seemingly total strangers. Mom would. And share some stories about Mom or stories just about each other. Make some friends. Mom would love it. There is one final matter that we must consider, and my mom would want to make sure that we don't miss it, and because I'm her son who happens to be the preacher, she'd look to me to say it. My mom was 62 years old, but in better shape than an entire fraternity of decathletes. She would run 15 miles before most of the city was awake. And yet she died. No preparation, no slow disease, not even a car accident. She died. How do you explain this? How could somebody seemingly so fit, somebody that we thought could bury the rest of us, die so quickly? We are told that answer. One of the books of the Bible called Hebrews, the author of that book writes, just as it is appointed for man to die once, and after that comes judgment, so Christ, having been offered once to bear the sins of many, will appear a second time, not to deal with sin, but to save those who are eagerly waiting for him. Mom would want us to consider what this passage says. The time has been appointed for every single one of us sitting here in this room to die. And Mom's life has been a profound example, but we don't control that. God does. In a world where we are trying hard as we can to either deny death or at least delay it, Mom's death shocks us. But the truth is, death comes to all of us. Now, judgment is not a popular term today. It is stripped out of our politically correct, influenced environment. Yet as much as we want to close our eyes and our ears, there is a judgment greater than we could ever imagine. One where we stand before God at the end of our life and give an account. My mom knew this and lived her life in light of what would happen when she died. She knew the truth. Forgiveness of sins is found for those who put their faith in Jesus Christ. And as the author of Hebrews wrote, Jesus Christ bore the sins of many. My mom died, and we're still alive. But our death is coming too. For now we weep, but she rests. She rests because her faith was in Christ. Question is, what about me and you? This is the question my mom would want us to consider for ourselves. She would not want the circumstance of her death to be in vain, and it won't be if you and I will reflect on how our lives are being lived now. Thank you.